Hi everybody, Don Giannatti, lighting-essentials.com and project52prosystem.com. I hope you enjoy what we're doing here. If you do, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and please go off and visit the website. So there's some links down below to some special sites that I have. I've done a what do you need to get going as a professional called the Minimum Viable Brand for Photographers. It's on the Lighting-Essentials page. It's free. It's huge. But if you do everything there, you're ready to go. And I also have lots of YouTube videos, and Lighting Essentials has lots of interesting articles for photographers. We're really kind of focused on photographers, a little more serious about it than just, popping shots. You don't have to be a pro, but you might want to shoot like a pro. Over at Project 52 Systems, we teach you how to be a pro. And whether you're full-time or part-time, doesn't matter. You still have to be professional in all that you do. So let's start out here with a look at Cliff Ferguson's still life shot. Cliff is using what we call a bright field lighting. This is different than a dark field lighting. It's very bright behind it, so he's shooting into the light source itself. Since he's shooting a clear glass, shooting into it himself. You can see the texture of the glass here has got a little bit of a tooth to it because the reflection of the dark cards on the side are diffuse, where up here they're sharp. And that the difference is in the texture. Subject-centric lighting says, everything reflects, and the way light reflects off the subject has more to do with the subject than it does the light source. So whether you put a shiny light or a soft light or a softbox or an umbrella or an octabox isn't really as important as what is the source of the production of the light, which is the object itself. Is it shiny? Is it matte? Is it semi-shiny? Well, this is a frosted glass, so we get a little soft edge to it. Let's take a look at his lighting setup. He's got two large boards, black boards. They look gray to us because the light here is reflecting off those boards and into the camera. Angle of incidence equals angle of reflection. So these boards, these foam core boards, have a little bit of a shine to them. They're not real matte foam cores. Got a little bit of a shine to it, and that's what we're seeing here. Conversely, the unit here, the subject that we're shooting, sees the black boards, but it softens them because this is diffused glass. I didn't have to tell you it's diffused glass. You knew it by looking at it. Understanding light is like something that we have to understand is we already are 80% there. By the time we're 7 or 8 years old, we know how light works. We haven't formally figured it out photographically, but we know how it works. We know when something is wet, it's shiny. Something that's shiny that's wet is super glossy. Something that's not shiny at all when wet becomes shiny. We know that the surface texture matters, and it does a lot in this shot here. Cliff's next shot is kind of what happens when you use a very large, in relationship to the subject, lighting. Very large. It's soft on the leaves and on this little whatever that skewer thing is. It's soft in here, and yet it's very bright and very sharp on the strawberries. Why? Because they're shiny. So the shiny strawberries are reflecting that big white light. That's what we're seeing there. Meanwhile, the light's big enough that it gives us little rims. You can see this is glass, so it's absolutely showing the specular of the light source, that big softbox all the way through here. This is the back of the glass. The light is going through the glass and hitting the inside edge of the glass. That's what's happening there. Kind of a nice shot. Jorge Parenta is using also bright field lighting, shooting straight into the light source. Got some dark cards on the side. So we get these little lines here. Got a dark card across the top of the set, so we get that little black line there. These lines are so important. If we don't have them, the glass will just fade off into the background. It won't have any definition. We're using the black cards to create definition in the clear glass. It's sitting on a shiny surface, a black Plex surface. Why isn't the black Plex looking glossy? I mean black? Why does the black Plex not look like black Plex? It's because the white light, the white softbox is reflecting across the black. The black is absolutely reflecting the white softbox. So we get a white edge all the way through. White edge right there at the horizon line, and we get a white surface. We get a white background all the way through. Hooray also gave us some splash shots, which are nicely done. This is not on black Plex. This is actually on black paper, black like foam core. It's got a little bit of a shine to it, so we get an absolute reflection of the light source in the black surface here, but we get a little bit of reflection back towards us, just a little bit. Here's the lighting source. Dark cards on both sides of the bright light, shooting straight into the bright light. Then we put these flags here to keep the excess light, all of this light here and all of this light here, from going into our lens at this point over here and over here and over here, and creating flare. So we're going to bring these in as close as we can get them to the lens. When they start to come into the lens, we move them out a little bit, and we keep this set as clean as we possibly can. Some nice edges to those shots. Michael Woods, nice shot, Michael. We've got some movement here in the glasses, which is very nice, very clever. Bright field lighting, white cards in front of the set, so that the black that you see here is literally the negative studio, the negative black between the light source and the white cards. The white cards are there just to block off the light source. I'll show you what I mean. You can see there's a space between this white card and this white card. That space there is what's giving us the line, a black line around these cups. The white cards are in front of the light source, so they're not white, they're dark. But what they're doing is they're flagging off that bright softbox, which may be, I believe it's like that big. That's a lot of light to come right back into the camera. So Michael's being very careful and keeping that light from coming in the camera, while at the same time getting that little black edge that runs around the glasses so that they are visible against the white background. Next up is Timo, and Timo is using a modified black field lighting, dark field lighting. So he's got a black behind it. He's got wings on either side, just like we saw up here. In fact, you can look at this diagram right up here and reverse it, put this black and make this two white lights, and that's dark field lighting. We've covered that. If you go back in my YouTube here, we've talked about that. And then he's brought a card around the front to wrap that light all the way back here to the front of the glass, and the same on this one. He does have a kicker light back over here coming in, a little hard kicker light. You can see it on the orange right there. You can see that kicker light. You can see it up in here and on the ice. But it's a very nice shot, lovely. I believe it's a 2-light shot. It's a big soft box over here, a small soft box on that side of the dark field, and then a kicker light coming in to add some texture to this orange. So very nicely done shots by Project 52 folks. And again, if you like what I'm doing here, hit the subscribe button. I don't care about the bell, ding ding, who cares? Check the description below for links to both of the sites, and I'll see you next time.